Buckle up today for a candid conversation that society often tiptoes around, which is surviving family estrangement without closure. Because in the world, we love neat endings, and we're going to disrupt that narrative a little bit today and explore the uncomfortable reality that many of you are facing. With that being said, I am always full of hope for you and your family to reunite. And I do know that it's always possible. But everyone has to be willing to do some work. And I think we all know that, but we forget that that's the reality. Because relationships take work. And it doesn't matter that you're the mom in the situation. It still involves two human beings who have strengths and weaknesses to be willing to do the work. So I know that a lot of times our sons and daughters forget that we were kids once too, and that we have our own past. And we have our own perspectives, and sometimes it's hard for them to realize that, you had your family dynamics as well, and these things tend to go generational to generational to generational. So with that being said, I want to dive into this, but I want you to know that if you don't learn how to function in the midst of the estrangement, it can destroy you. Trust me, I know firsthand. And so I want to help you with that. And I have a few tips for you here today in regards to that, because I don't want what happened to me to happen to you. So number one is that I want to talk about is living without closure. So again, that doesn't mean that you'll never have closure with your child. It doesn't mean you won't be reconciled, but we have to learn how to live without the closure today. And so if we're honest, there's nothing easy about this. Okay, but you have to learn to continue moving forward even without the closure, even without the answers that you're looking for. Because this is what's going to happen if you don't. You are going to be giving in to temptations that you might not otherwise, right? You're going to be giving in to ways to numb your emotional pain, which you might not otherwise. And I know that all too well. And I shared a lot of that in my other video. But you're going to feel isolated and tempted and feel as though you're the only person on this entire earth that's going through this. And I get you, because it does feel that way. It feels so personal. But going through this, and that's why I'm making this video for you, if this is just for one person, fantastic, because you need truth and you need honesty and you need life and you need to build a supportive network. Because without that, that's when we do all the isolating. That's when we give into the temptations. That's when we give into numbing our pain, because we think nobody's out there that even cares, or nobody out there is going to understand what I'm going through. So if that's you today, I want you to click the link below in the description. It's a link to my discovery call. So if you're ready to take the first step, fantastic. If not, save the link. It's my discovery call where we'll have a 30-minute consultation where I can learn more about you and how this whole estrangement is affecting you as a mom. And I can tell you how I can help you. There's no commitment, but I want to be able to have that opportunity to share with you, because you need to join some type of support system, whether it's me or someone else. All right, number two is resilience and growth. What does this mean? This means that we need to break down achievable goals for your personal growth. And you may think, I'm not into personal growth. I don't have any interest in doing that. Personal growth is also self-care. It's the little things we do every day, because you are more resilient than you have any clue right now. And you may not even be able to get out of bed at this moment. Maybe you're watching this and you're like, yeah, Sally, you have no idea, because you're so devastated right now. But I promise you that with commitment and work on yourself, notice I said on yourself, not your son or your daughter. This is a gentle reminder that you cannot change your son or your daughter, nor their choices, nor their decisions, and neither are their decisions your responsibility. So the sooner that we can realize that, the better off you're going to be. And that, my friend, is just a reality. So I want you to take that into consideration, because this is something that you never planned for, right? And that's why support is so important. And that takes me to number 3, which is building support beyond family. You may have other adult children that you're talking with. Maybe it's your spouse, and that's fantastic. I love a supportive family. But you also may be someone who's super introverted and is not used to being vulnerable, and maybe not used to expressing your emotions authentically. But this is the time for you to be your authentic self, because it's time to be vulnerable and open to help. This situation is not going to fix itself. And like I mentioned, we don't have control over our children, right? Our sons and daughters. They're making their own choices, which they have every right to do. They're adults. But at the same time, I want you to remember that a relationship, as a reminder, it takes 2 people, and all you can control is your part. And so when you start doing that and start working on yourself and start working on your own things, maybe it's from your childhood, maybe it's just different pains that you have, that's when the magic happens. That's when things start being restored. And it's going to start with you. It's going to start with your own restoration within yourself. And then it's wonderful how things just kind of open up from there. I'm not promising you that you're going to be reconciled with your son or daughter, but it's quite possible, because over time things change. Tomorrow, next week, next month is not going to look identical to today. So as hard as today is, I want you to remember that. So stay tuned, and I want you to click on this next video, because I think that's really going to help you in processing some of these things and start considering a support system, because you, my friend, are worth it, and you don't deserve to be going through this alone. I don't care if you've made a zillion mistakes or if you truly feel like you haven't done anything. It doesn't matter. The reality is we're human, and we're not faultless, right? But we can only take responsibility for our own actions moving forward. So I hope that helps you. I'll see you in the next video.